There's a price to everything. You want power? There's a price. You want respect? There's a price. You want to be unstoppable? There's a price. And it is not paid with comfort. It is paid with days you'd rather forget, with the faces you will lose, with the quiet that follows every choice. If you expect glory without cost, you are begging for a lesson. Unstoppable isn't a label you wear. It's a weight you carry. It's a ledger of sacrifices. Account entries with names, dates, and consequences. People imagine unstoppable as invulnerability. They're wrong. Unstoppable is selective survival. It's the willingness to trade pieces of your life for a single, cold objective. You will be misunderstood. You will be feared. You will be envied. That's the currency of power. The exchange always favors those who are willing to pay. The first payment they take is comfort. You trade quiet evenings for late nights. You trade soft conversations for hard decisions. You stop taking vacations, you start taking opportunities. Your bed becomes a place of rest between battles, not a refuge. People call you cold. They say you've changed. They don't see the hours where you sharpened your edge. They didn't sit through the moments you chose the grind over the party. That is the first wound. Learn to accept it. The second cost is the thinning of the crowd. As you ascend, the circle narrows. Some leave because they can't keep up. Others leave because they don't want to. Friends become visitors. Family becomes a headline. Love becomes conditional. They tell you it's loneliness. They don't understand. Loneliness is the side effect of being replaceable. Isolation is a sign you are irreplaceable. But it still hurts. It still cuts. Every face that turns away carves a line deeper into you. Ask yourself, would you rather be surrounded by people who enable your smallness, or stand alone as the architect of something enormous? Then comes the ethical tax. It does not arrive with a trumpet. It slips in like smoke. You compromise on small things first. A white lie, a gentle omission. And you tell yourself it's temporary. But small compromises compound. They set a precedent. Soon, the line you swore never to cross becomes merely a suggestion. People will call it corruption. I call it truth dressing in new clothes. The world demands results, not purity. If you want to be unstoppable, you must accept that sometimes a clean conscience is the cost of defeat. Decide now. Will you drown in the idea of who you were? Or will you swim toward who you can become? Violence is not always fists. It's the silence before a hard word. It's terminating a partnership, firing a friend, breaking a promise in pursuit of clarity. These choices feel violent because they fracture trust. They leave blood on your hands you didn't expect. Make no mistake, power requires violence of choice, and the most ruthless actions are often the most necessary. If you flinch from that violence, you remain a gentleman in ruin. So tell me, who are you willing to hurt? Yourself? Your reputation? Your relationships? Your comforts? Or will you stubbornly insist on hurting no one and watch your life be rearranged by other people's wills? They say the strong are cruel. They're mistaken. Strong is decisive. Cruelty is the lack of reason. Strength is the careful application of force where it is needed most. The question is not whether you hurt. The question is whether your hurts serve a purpose. Purpose redeems. Pain without purpose is just a wound. There is another tax, less visible, more insidious. It is the tax of the mind. The fee your ego pays when it becomes the map. You grow accustomed to control. You start to measure worth by dominance. You let success define your value. Obsession follows. You forget the reasons you started. You begin to feed the machine more than the soul. Unstoppability can become a prison of your own making. You must guard against the monster who looks like you and whispers that anything less than total conquest is failure. Balance is not for the weak. It is for the wise. The hardest part of being unstoppable is not becoming everything. It is keeping what matters human. So why pay it all? Because there is a clarity on the other side of these costs. A kind of sight that the safe never glimpse. You wake up to fewer illusions. You see systems clearly. You understand leverage. You cultivate a life that is built by your hands, not by consent. Power makes you responsible in a way comfort never could. It gives weight to your choices. It makes your life a force, not a hobby. To be unstoppable is to be accountable to yourself and to the results you demand. Now I'm speaking to you directly. This is not a sermon. It's an invoice. How much are you willing to lose to stop being ordinary? How many relationships will you trade to build a legacy? Stop romanticizing sacrifice. Understand it. Know it. Plan for it. You will fail. You will be judged. You will be lonely. But you will not be regretting the things you tried. You will be regretting the things you never dared. So decide. Do you want a life designed by others? Or one you design with your hands, teeth, and burned bridges? The price is steep. The ledger is long. But the alternative is slow erasure. Pay the price or be paid for by the world? The choice is ugly, and it is yours.